captioning for this newscast brought to you by Hearing Associates of South Carolina.
From the station that's on your side, this is News 12, first at 4.
First at 4, Governor Kemp has extended an order that loosened restrictions across the state. He says Georgia is open for business, and he signed an executive order last week getting rid of a ban on large gatherings and shelter-in-place requirements. Even so, Georgia is still under a state of emergency. Our Brady Trapnell is live in downtown Augusta with what this means.
Well, Zaina, nothing really changes for our businesses here in downtown across the area. I spoke with the owner here at Stillwater Tap Room, and he told me that he's essentially giving free rein to his employees and to those coming in to grab a beer or drink here at the bar to wear a mask if they please or not. So that's up to them at this point, because many of them have told him that they're vaccinated and they're fully vaccinated and ready to get back to normal. This place feels like a safe haven. But statewide, the public health emergency does give DPH and the governor more flexibility to keep certain health efforts going. And for businesses across our area, life does go on as normal, though. We spoke with Stillwater Tap Room back during the early months of the pandemic, and they didn't know if they would be able to stay open. Now happy hour and nighttime crowds are keeping things busy. Owner Matt Flynn says many of his customers are vaccinated along with his staff.
Pretty content with the way things are headed. We've expanded our seating areas up top for people to spread out a little bit more. I'm glad we're actually putting money into the checking account, instead of just treading water. So.
And you can see here downtown every weekend things are starting to get more normal. I saw many business owners actually setting up some tables outside for some events later this weekend. You have another event for James Brown later this weekend as well. So some things starting to pick up. But is it time for that? Is this health emergency something that needs to be lifted at the end of May, or does it need to stay in place? We'll take a look at that and hear from health experts on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for that live update, Brady. Well, today a top DHEC official says new cases in South Carolina are starting to plateau rather than decline, and the percent positive is still concerning, meaning the pandemic is far from over. They say people shouldn't rely on a new MUSC study saying the state is at 65% herd immunity. It combines the number of people who got the virus and people who got the vaccine, but the immune response from the vaccine is longer lasting than from getting the virus itself.
I think we are still a long way from having enough people vaccinated to feel that we can let up on those mitigation measures like masks. I mean, the MUSC study is interesting, it's encouraging, but we're not done. We're a long way from being done with this virus.
Closer to home, Aiken City Council members will consider doing away with their mask ordinance at a special called meeting next week. Mayor Rick Osbin requested a meeting for Wednesday. The council first approved the ordinance back in November. It requires masks in restaurants and businesses. If the council does vote to get rid of the ordinance, it'll expire on Thursday. More news ahead, but first, let's get a check of the weather with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. And Riley, it's looking nice over there over Wheeler Road.
Hey, it is another beautiful day for us, a great Friday, and we're looking good heading into the weekend as well. A little bit breezy this afternoon, creating just an elevated fire risk across most of the CSRA. These northwest winds have been going between 10 to 15 miles an hour for most of us so far this afternoon. Now, our temperatures are up to 83 at Bushfield, 79 in Aiken, 84 in Waynesboro, upper 70s mostly if you're north of I-20, then mid-80s for the central and southern CSRA. It's going to be a perfect evening to head outside, maybe grab a bite to eat at some of our fantastic local restaurants. Temps near 80 at 6 o'clock, then by 8 p.m. we're still in the low 70s. Should be nice out there for us and staying fairly warm. Just a few clouds out and about this evening into tonight. Temperature is going to feel a little bit cooler by tomorrow morning. We should be able to dip down at least into the mid-50s. We'll have a look at the rest of your weekend in just a little bit.
Day 6 in the search for 2 boaters still missing at Clarks Hill Lake. DNR is out there again today, expanding the search area for Edward Kirk and Ian Wilson. This morning, a helicopter flying over the lake to search the shoreline. Coming up on the weekend, officials expect more boaters to be out and about on the lake. They say the extra activity could help move the bodies around in the water, making them easier to find, but it will also make it harder for divers to see. Officials hope to be able to bring closure to families soon. A visual for the two men is happening this Sunday at 6 at Meadowbrook Park. One inmate who escaped during transport yesterday is back in custody, while a different one is on the run in Atlanta today. 20-year-old Hassan Strover is wanted for murder in Arizona. He's back in handcuffs as of late last night. Meanwhile, an inmate being transported from California to Georgia is on the run after escaping during transport. Authorities say Devonta Roth escaped the custody of Fresno, California detectives. They say the inmate was being moved to a prison in Jackson, Georgia, when he jumped out of a car at a convenience store near Hartsfield International Airport. It's not clear how he was able to get away from authorities. Clayton County Sheriff's deputies are helping search. Florida's joining that area. Well, it's a car part so valuable that it's driving some people to steal. As the price of precious metals soar, officials say they've seen more missing catalytic converters, and mechanic shops say they've been busier than usual to replace them. As Jessica Savage reports, it's a part that could cost you thousands of dollars to replace.
It's a car part that you wouldn't normally think about until it's missing. The unmistakably loud sound of a missing catalytic converter. It's the part of your car that's designed to filter pollutants and clean emissions. These days, Barry's Muffler and Brake Shop off Ferguson Avenue in Savannah has been busy.
And people just go and cut them off, these cars right in the driveway, and then they're trying to sell them.
He's replaced close to 20 in the last 2 months, far more than what he's seen in over a decade. One customer told him hers was stolen while she ran a quick errand.
It was crazy. I mean, you think you're going shopping to buy some groceries or whatever, come out and somebody has not stolen your car, your purse, anything. They stole the catalytic converter off the car, which right now is more valuable than anything.
Valuable because of the rare metals inside. One of them is rhodium. Since January, the commodities trading price of rhodium has nearly doubled to around $28,000 per ounce as of this week. On the street, that translates to a few $100s for a catalytic converter. And it's why police say the number of reported thefts has gone up from last year. Here's a look. On this chart, you can see Savannah police numbers highlighted in red. 15 reported thefts of catalytic converters so far this year. Triple from what the department saw in all of 2020. Chatham County in blue also reported an uptick in cases.
But we're at a certain number, and that number can't continue to rise because criminals are out there, and if they want that product and they want that money, they're going to do what they can to get it.
So the question is, what can you do to protect your property? Officials advise you don't leave your car parked for a long time without security like cameras or a fenced area. You can also have your mechanic inscribe your vehicle identification number on the car part so officials can trace it if it does get stolen. Atlanta Motor Speedway's upcoming Nascar race in July will be at full capacity. This comes after announcements earlier this week that the Atlanta Braves and Atlanta United will return to full capacity also. The Quaker State 400 is set for July 10th and 11th, and the Speedway says it'll be their first race to host an expansive audience since the start of the pandemic. They haven't said anything about their mask policy just yet. An Aiken Senior Club lending a hand to the community by collecting food for Golden Harvest. The Golden Good Timers filling 8 barrels full of food. Golden Harvest stopped by the Aiken Senior Youth Center today to pick them up. And of course, all that food's going directly to help with food insecurity in our area. Masters champion Hideki Matsuyama receiving the Prime Minister's Award today for his victory. Matsuyama is the first Japanese national to win a major title in men's golf. You can see him here in the green jacket, and after the ceremony, he told reporters he's glad he was able to win the tournament on the 10-year anniversary of the Great East Japan earthquake. He added he will do his best to win a gold medal at the Tokyo Olympics happening this summer. Still ahead, a lost dog and Astoria reunion spanning many years and multiple states. That's when we get back.
Just tracking a few clouds this afternoon and expecting a nice weekend up ahead. We'll have a look at that and some rain chances later next week. Next.
The I-Team uncovers a deadly cancer trend right here in our area.
They're not taking into account how Black women present
versus white.
Breast cancer screening guidelines ignoring women of color.
I could have died.
Monday on News 12 at 6 o'clock. Call Ken.
A veteran once transferred from Georgia to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, leaving just one thing behind, a lost dog named Sam who did make it back to their Georgia home. Kelsey Gibbs shows us how the owner never gave up hope or the search.
I don't know what you're doing tomorrow, but we're going to Cleveland.
It was a road trip 4 years in the making. Michael Joyce says it was back then when his dogs got loose. 2 returned home, but the family couldn't find 4-month-old Sam.
I drove around the neighborhood. I went to local shelters. I mean, I was looking for him hard.
Being in the Army, it was time for the family to move from Georgia to Fort Campbell, Kentucky.
I came to Campbell, and I kept looking. I kept going back and forth betting. I'll just say I went there 3 or 4 times after I moved up there. Just maybe he would have showed up down there.
As time passed, still no Sam. The family got other dogs. The newest one also named Sam. But the golden boy, the original Sam, wasn't missing at all. He was 3 states away.
Yeah, I get a call from Cleveland, Ohio.
It was an animal shelter.
Hey, we have your dog Sam.
Joy thinking it's about the new pup sitting on his living room floor.
And I was like, Sam? I'm looking at him like, no, you don't. And why would he be in Cleveland?
Not that Sam.
And then they're like, no, we have your dog. I'm like, can you tell me what he looks like? Like, he's a lighter-haired. As soon as they said lighter-haired dog, I'm like, I'm coming there right now.
It was April 3rd, an Easter miracle, Joy calls it. The family drove from Clarksville to Cleveland to bring Sam home.
When he comes around the corner, I'm like, that's him. Oh my God, that's him.
Joy says getting his dogs microchipped was the best money spent because this moment is priceless.
It was like coming back home from a deployment and seeing your family for like the first time in a year.
Wow, you cannot watch that story without just having a huge smile on your face. You know, that's just a man's best friend right there. Joy says since Sam's return, they've been inseparable, and you can only imagine what a crazy story, but glad he has his Sam back. That is awesome.
Can't be the dog.
I know. I mean, dogs are just the best. But Riley, speaking of dogs and great weather, is this a good weekend to be out with your pets?
Absolutely. Great weather in store this weekend for any outdoor activities. We're just going to see a few more clouds show up by Sunday, but staying dry at least through Sunday afternoon. Nice evening as well if you're taking the dog out for a walk. We're expecting temps to stay pretty warm, staying in the 70s at least through sunset. And then by late tonight into early tomorrow morning, we'll see our low temperatures bottom out into the mid-50s. Now, this is going to feel a little bit cooler than the warm mornings we've had the past couple of days. So you may need a light jacket. Not for long, though. Should be another nice day on Saturday. If you have plans to maybe hit the Augusta Canal, doing some kayaking for your Saturday, we're expecting temps around 10 a.m. in the mid-60s, and then highs later into the afternoon will be mostly in the upper 70s, but briefly hit 80 later into the afternoon. Those winds don't look as breezy tomorrow either. But most of us should be able to get at least into the upper 70s. I think us here in the metro will be able to hit 80 briefly. Same thing if you live south of Augusta in the southern CSRA. Now, the lake forecast, that looks good as well. We're expecting temps up at the lake tomorrow. Likely we'll stay in the upper 70s there. Low 80s by Sunday, and once again, more clouds expected by Sunday, but generally light winds, staying below 10 miles an hour both afternoons. Water temps in the upper 60s currently up at the lake, and lake levels are just above full pool, so still a lot of water to work with up there. Our weekend forecast for us here in Augusta, once again, getting close to 80 tomorrow afternoon. Call it partly sunny by Sunday, so that actually means more clouds than sun expected for the second half of the weekend, but staying dry for us. If you have a road trip planned, maybe you're heading up to the mountains, they're expecting a nice Saturday, sunny and mid-70s up in Asheville Saturday. If you're heading towards the coast, they're expecting abundant sunshine there as well for the first part of the weekend and even Sunday as well. Temperatures will be close to 80 in Charleston by Sunday afternoon. Here's a look at Doppler Max radar. This is going to be our system that makes a close approach to us by Sunday night and Monday. But until then, high pressure is going to keep us pretty quiet. Just a few clouds out there. But as we head into our Sunday night and Monday, this is when our next chance for rain starts to move into the area. This is thanks to an upper level disturbance, and then we're going to be tracking a cold front moving in by Tuesday. So better opportunity to see some rainfall by early next week, but drive through the weekend, so make sure you have the sprinklers turned off.
Thanks, Riley. An organization in Florida is trying to tackle racism through difficult discussions. Elise Preston shows us how it's using something called race cards to try to do that.
Kimberly Allen says she will never forget how she felt after the deadly police shooting of school cafeteria worker Philando Castile in Minnesota in 2016.
With children in the car, that was just unimaginable. And I would never want my children to see anything like that.
She started volunteering with the social rights organization 90 Forward in Jacksonville, Florida, which uses race cards to provoke raw conversations.
I don't think that you can really be an effective advocate or ally until you've had conversations with different people.
Allen says questions such as, when did you first become aware of racism, helps participants see other points of view. 90 Forward even launched a race card app with the help of a grant from the Mayo Clinic.
This is a guiding principle for me, and organizationally, this is a guiding value for all of us.
Dr. Anjali Bagra considers racism a public health issue, causing physical stress for victims and countless health disparities for Black Americans.
When we talk about social determinants of health, that impacts the prognosis or the health and well-being of a human being more than, like I said, access to medications.
Allen is now CEO of 90 Forward. She's grateful systemic racism is finally being addressed in our culture.
We have to speak to the nature of hope.
She hopes change will create a better world for her 3 children.
36 social justice organizations were awarded grants from the Mayo Clinic. The hospital has pledged $100 million over the next 10 years to address racism. Coming up, dating during the pandemic may feel practically impossible, but still ahead, a new kind of dating app that puts you face-to-face from home.
George Abdi may be able to help.
A few things have been affected by the pandemic more than dating. With restaurants and movie theaters closed and everyone forced to stay home, it's hard to meet someone new. Well, Jamie Tucker shows us how a new dating service is putting single people together face-to-face.
Even if you've never used a dating app, you know how they work. You look at their picture, their bio, swipe right or left if you want to connect or not. You don't know if they are who they say they are. But this new dating app and service is a little different. It will send you on speed dates over video calls.
So as you can see, it's all video first. There's no swiping. And it's just really about just connecting you and see where you can have that genuine romantic connection.
Here's how Filter Off works. You fill out a bio and upload a photo, then you can connect with someone else using the app and chat face-to-face on a FaceTime-like video call. Other dating apps do that, but Filter Off has speed dating.
Filter Off will schedule those dates for you, and you may go up to 8 video speed dates that evening.
Each speed date, about 90 seconds, is long enough for users to decide if they want to chat longer. Co-founder Zach Schlein launched the app just before the pandemic and tells me a lot has changed.
Pre-COVID, if you ask people to hop on a video chat, they would simply say no. They just weren't comfortable video chatting romantically with a complete stranger. And now with the pandemic, speaking now on video chat to a complete stranger romantically is actually no big deal.
As far as safety and security, Schlein tells me the videos are not kept on any servers. Users do not have to share full name and address unless they want to. And if there are creeps who act inappropriately over video, they'll be booted from the platform permanently. That's What It's At. I'm Jamie Tucker.
You know what? Jamie Tucker is just an expert in everything, it seems like. He knows so much. If you're interested, Filter Off is free, and there are apps for iPhones and Androids as well as a website. Riley?
All right, tomorrow's going to be a perfect day to cut the grass. Your lawn forecast looking good. High temperatures close to 80 tomorrow afternoon, and we should see abundant sun. We'll have a look at that 7-day forecast next.
I'm a attorney.
Follow News 1226 on Instagram to see what's trending in your area.
All right, let's take a look at your community calendar. Forces United is hosting a fundraiser concert tonight at 8 o'clock. Tickets are $15, and all the proceeds will go to benefit Forces United. It's at the Sunset Auction House in Thompson. Local country artist Daniel E. Johnson will be playing there. Should be great out there this evening. Looking beautiful weather-wise for us. Here's a current look at I-20, the Augusta Canal here, courtesy of EarthCam. That traffic crossing the river towards Carolina, once again, pretty backed up here, right at the river and the canal. So plan accordingly likely if you're going to be out and about driving around next hour or so. 83 degrees currently here in Augusta. We're seeing these breezy northwest winds still between 10 to 15, so that is creating an elevated fire risk, so not ideal for burning the rest of this evening. Now, as we head into the weekend, great weather to hit the lake, the river, the canal, anywhere you can get some fishing done. We're expecting sunny skies and calmer winds on Saturday, not having to worry about much of a chop out at the lake. If you're heading out on Sunday, we're expecting a few more clouds to show up. I think that would probably be the better day before our next chance for rain moves in by early next week. But some nice weather both Saturday and Sunday. And temperature-wise, it will feel a little bit cooler the next couple of mornings. We're going to be waking up in the mid to low 50s Saturday, Sunday before that heat does return. High temperature is going to be close to 90 by Monday, Tuesday, even Wednesday of next week. Those rain chances do look better past the weekend.
Still ahead, we're digging deeper into the social media video of an Aiken man punching a teen in the face. We'll have the latest from the investigation and what happened. The news continues here on First at 4. Stick with us. Come on in to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices, visit us at Davis Appliance and Furniture. Come on in to Davis Appliance and Furniture, where you can find the best deals in town. It's tax time, so when that refund comes in, it's the perfect time to get the furniture you've always wanted. For the brands you trust at the lowest prices,